Trevor Huddleston entered the priesthood expecting a life of quiet obedience. Instead, he became a threat to an empire without firing a single shot. His worldview was anchored by one specific standard. So God created mankind in his own image. That single sentence became the ultimate metric by which he would judge the laws of a nation. In 1943, Huddleston was sent to Johannesburg. He arrived to serve as a clergyman, but immediately found himself thrust into a vibrant community targeted for destruction. He was assigned to Sophiatown. It was a loud, beautiful neighborhood where Black South Africans made a life amidst deep poverty. The government looked at this mixed community and saw a problem that needed to be solved. The state was busy finalizing the bureaucracy of apartheid. They built a system of laws designed to sort human beings like objects, dictating exactly where people could walk, work, and exist. For Huddleston, this classification crossed a line. A system attempting to rewrite the rules of creation was a spiritual emergency, and it demanded immediate, radical defiance. Apartheid relied heavily on physical and emotional distance. The state criminalized touch and friendship across racial lines, requiring total separation to keep the system functioning. Huddleston walked into the street and held a Black child's hand in public. In a system built on mandated distance, this simple reach across the color line was a public refusal to honor the state's racial boundary. He was driven by a theology that demanded physical action over distant observation. Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. He treated Black South Africans as equals, leaving a deep impression on a young teacher who would later become a global moral voice, Desmond Tutu. He offered tangible support to the local culture, famously buying a young Hugh Masekela his first trumpet and helping ignite an international musical movement. Huddleston proved that preaching a gospel of equality means absolutely nothing if that belief remains safely locked inside the walls of a church. The government eventually scheduled Sophiatown for destruction. In a clinical, bureaucratic insult, they planned to bulldoze the neighborhood and rename the ruins Triumph. When the forced removals began, families were treated like cargo. Their lives were packed onto trucks and driven away to distant, isolated townships. Huddleston's religious order recalled him to Britain in 1956, but he refused to let the destruction of Sophiatown happen in silence. He published the book Naught for Your Comfort. With specific, relentless detail, he dragged the polite British public directly into the harsh torchlight of a South African police raid. When an empire tries to silently erase a community, turning memories into public ammunition strips away the world's ability to hide behind the excuse of ignorance. Back in London, he faced an establishment that preferred quiet diplomacy. Politicians urged gradualism and cautioned against provoking the regime. Huddleston bypassed the politicians by collapsing the emotional distance. He championed cultural voices like Miriam Makeba, using her music to make the human reality of South Africa undeniable to Western audiences. Then, in 1960, the state showed its hand. Police opened fire on a protesting crowd in Sharpeville, killing 69 people and destroying the illusion that apartheid could be gradually reformed. He demanded harsh economic boycotts, forcing the church to choose between costly solidarity and comfortable neutrality. He leaned directly on Scripture. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Facing down a system built on legalized theft and state violence, advising patience while offering only prayer is a form of blasphemy. The South African government tried to outlast him, but decades of relentless global pressure from Huddleston and his allies slowly fractured the regime's political defenses. In 1990, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison. His release signaled that the regime's long-standing gamble that they could outlast their opposition had finally failed. 4 years later, the 1994 democratic elections served as the ultimate reversal of the forced removals Huddleston had fought 40 years earlier. Millions of people stood in miles-long lines, queuing for citizenship and dignity. The bureaucratic paperwork of oppression was replaced by the simple power of a ballot. Huddleston spent his life defending the image of God in every face he saw. He showed that when an individual's moral witness becomes loud enough, it creates a weight that even the most clinical bureaucracy cannot sustain. His legacy leaves a sharp instruction for the modern era. Social and institutional privilege is a resource meant to be spent on behalf of others, not hoarded for personal comfort. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. True scriptural faith extracts a heavy cost, and in the face of systemic injustice, the greatest possible sin is to simply look away.